Very emotional shit. Very emotional. Um, let's go with the darkest lost media for our first video. Let's just pause it for a second. Jordan, where are you? He's probably in the bathroom. Jordan, come here. Yeah, he's. It's very hot up here, and unfortunately, I got to turn off my desk fan and my side table fan because it blows wind into the microphone, and that just it's very unpleasant to listen to. It's very unpleasant. So I gotta suffer for you guys, but it's especially hot for him because he's a German Shepherd Husky, so he's got that double coat. So he likes to chill in the bathroom where it's cold. Come here. Yeah. There he is. Wait, wait, wait. Yep, there he is. Don't look at the mess on my floor. Don't look at the mess on my floor. Don't do that. We're not going to look at that. Okay, I've been live for 30 minutes. That was my phone. That was my phone. I have been live for 30 minutes now, and we haven't even done anything but except talk and shit and show off some shit. But let's get in, see what this shit's about, cause it looks good to me. It looks good.
On April 25th, at this bus stop, one boy, 15 years old, shot and killed a 17-year-old boy with a revolver.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota Bradenton.
Preview Guide.
Lost media is a topic that I have been enamored by for years, yet
Oh, I like this man's voice. I like it a lot. He has that deep, deep voice. Oh, I like it. You're getting us. I'm subscribing to this man. We're going to react to more of his shit eventually. But I like his content. Oh, I like it.
have surprisingly not formally gotten into. The thought of disturbing TV broadcasts, audio, and VHS footage that have been lost to time is fascinating, and the links that people go to find them is incredible. So much dark and disturbing content has existed even before the internet, and the aim of this series is to dive into them, their search, and their stories, because, as it turns out, some of the darkest lost media out there seems to have always existed among us.
Among Us. Game or like the dark media is Among Us. Oh, he even has an intro and everything. If you see me keep on looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my stream. Because last stream, my camera fucked up like 3 different times. And I just don't want that to happen again. And I don't know how to prevent it. I don't know how to fix it. You'll see if you watch my most recent video where I react to the most disturbing analog horror iceberg. Yeah, I just threw a picture over it. It's funny, I guess. I found it funny. Before we get into this, let me check something. Okay, if I do that, what if I do? Okay. Okay, so that means that you. Okay, I'm figuring things out. I'm figuring how to use this shit. I still don't like the fact that it does that, but we might have to live with it. Might have to live with it. I can just also go and edit it. again once I fucking decide. Because in the videos, I edited to where I zoomed in on the little face cam down in the corner. So that way, whenever I'm talking, you see me and you don't have to look down to that little tiny ass face cam. But, yeah. Let's watch the fucking video. The devil hidden within them.
The following is a presentation of the Christian Television Network.
Can we not start out videos with children feet? Can we not do that? That's probably going to be the worst jump scare in this fucking video. Jump scaring me with the feet of children. God fucking damn it. Joy Junction.
Joy Junction is the place to be. Joy for you and me.
Come and join us for a half hour of fun and games at Joy Junction. Now here's Sheriff Don.
Hi, how you doing? Good to see you.
1980. A show is broadcasting on the Christian television network named Joy Junction. It's textbook public access TV, set at the eponymous village and hosted by the town sheriff. Throughout the show's lifespan, the town residents would join in for educational bits about the Bible, and kids were encouraged to take part in various games. It seemed to have been pretty successful during its time, as it was on the air for a few years. Bizarrely, nearly every record and archive of this show ever existing have been wiped though, merely leaving us with a handful of surviving re-uploads on YouTube. This has, admittedly, made it difficult to find any further information about Joy Junction aside from what we can distill from the existing footage. But that's okay, because that's not the main reason we're here anyway.
Tell me the main reason. Tell me why we're here.
Hi, everybody. What's happening?
Hey, Ron, good to see you.
Oh, and I've been waiting on you. Oh, I'm sorry I got tied up, Marty, but traffic was heavy and the stores were busy. You know how it is.
One of the show's cast members was a ventriloquist by the name of Ron, and he was present in nearly every episode, joined by his doll Marty.
Never going to come back.
Please don't tell me that Ron touched a child. Do not tell me that my main man Ron here touched a child. Because that would be devastating. I've known Ron for all of 5 seconds right now, and I already love him. Do not tell me that my main man, my buddy here, is out there touching tots.
Well, I did come back, didn't I? Yeah. I told you I would come back, didn't I? Yeah. And I'm sorry.
Typically, they'd have a quick conversation about whatever the topic of the day was, and it, at least in the surviving archives, appeared to serve as a bridge between two segments of the show. Ron's full name was Ronald Brown, and in the years following the show's eventual end, he'd launch his own puppeteering company out of Florida called Puppets
Let's
Plus.
fucking go, Ron. Hell
On
yeah.
his website at puppetsplus.com, we can observe a myriad of their clients, along with the age groups that he was primarily hired for. Ages 2 to 5 and 6 to 11.
Okay.
Now, at
Those
first
are-
glance, this seems par for the
Those are the average demographics for, puppeteering. Normally, if you're a puppeteer or a ventriloquist, you cater to, a younger audience. You don't only see 25-year-olds be like, I want to see the puppets. No, it's mainly for kids.
course in his profession. Children's entertainment was his forte. However, it's when we back up and take a look at Ronald as a person when things begin to sour.
Oh no.
You see, throughout the years, Ronald had a strange dynamic with children.
Don't say it.
For
Don't do
instance, in 1998, he was pulled over for a traffic violation and was found to be in possession of boys' underwear.
God damn it, Ronald. God, Ron, why? Why, Ron? We were going to conquer the world together, me and Ron. But he had to go and start sniffing little boy underwear. God. Son of a bitch.
His excuse was that he used them for his puppets, and he was
Did he
eventually let
now?
off. Other
Did he?
complaints came throughout the 2000s about him giving rides to kids in his church van. Unfortunately, police could never do much because there wasn't any explicit crime being committed. It was incredibly strange, but unfortunately not enough to warrant any sort of arrest. Where things really get nutty, though, is when we jump to the early 2010s, in which Brown would find himself caught in a web of controversy.
Oh no. Ron discovered chat rooms. What? What? Ron, don't tell me. Tell me it ain't so. Tell me that's not you, Ron. Tell me that's not you, Ron. I don't think I could handle it if that's Ron.
In May of 2012, a man named Michael Arnett was arrested after a sting operation. He was charged with the production of, and upon searching his home and computer, they would find.
God damn it, guys. That just shows you can't have any memorabilia of Charlie Puth. And do not bring the cheese pizza, because you know they'll come for you. They'll come at you. Can't. Sorry, I'm just now fucking reading that right as I was fucking making my jokes. I just read, yes, his thighs and butt cheeks would be fantastic for Easter. What the fuck, Michael?
What the fuck, Richard?
Chat logs on Yahoo Messenger between he and a person going by the name U.E. Lime. As it turned out, Arnett would produce these images and distribute them to various others online from the username CK3666, Sweet Talker Linda, and Calfkeeper 2. You'll notice that U.E. Lime was outward about their desires. They expressed interest in cannibalism, torture, sexual assault, and all of it was directed towards children, even as young as 2. The catch here, though, is that U.E. Lime wasn't just a random person. It was Ronald Brown.
God. So U.E. Lime was Ron. And what was it? Calf Kicker? Yeah, Calf Keeper was Michael. So Ron's the one that wants to eat little boy butts and thighs for things for Easter. I just want to say that I got no correlation to this man. I know I've made jokes, but God, don't arrest me. Do not do it. I won't survive in jail. They'll take my butt right away. They'll take it. I don't want that to happen. Do not take my butt. I won't be happy about it.
His secret online alias in which he'd express his fantasy about the kids he surrounded himself with daily. Let me remind you that this was a man whose entire career, entire life, was centered around associating with kids. Someone who was, at one point, on television in front of thousands. To say that these chat logs were a bad look would be putting it lightly. And yes, the messages you're saying are straight out of the official case file.
after a pair of scissors and put it between the blades and pinch it between them. He'll be terrified. Yes, slide the sharp end back and forth across his. What the fuck, Ron?
What the fuck, Richard?
After corresponding with Yahoo.com, authorities were able to track down Ronald Brown and tie his username to a profile on a necrophilia website named cutedeadguys.net.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ronald's profile has been lost to time. However, through his own case report, we're able to find details describing it. On this site, his bio read, "I love them young and dead. I enjoy them fresh, but like to see them displayed in their casket too." And a few snippets from his post history. "I like the blonde boy. Would love to snuff him. Very hot pics. That boy looks dead. I like that one. I'd love to kill them." It's safe to say that at this point, there was more than enough to warrant an arrest. And on July 19th of 2012, that notion would finally become a reality.
Federal marshals arrested a Largo man for possessing and conspiring to kidnap a child. They say he was a puppeteer who performed for children in the Bay Area. News Channel 8's Yolanda Fernandez has been following this story for us. She's joining us live tonight from Pinellas County.
Well, Keith, 57-year-old Ron Brown is here in the Pinellas County Jail tonight. Federal investigators say it was his gruesome and very graphic online chat with the...
Brown's house was...
Listen, guys, I know I made a lot of jokes in the beginning of this video, but this shit is genuinely fucking horrible. Like, what the fuck? That shit is just, what in the fuck? That's fucking wild. That's wild.
Rated and scattered across his home were images of pictures of kids being
more
tied
Charlie
up,
Puth,
and even some that appeared to be dead.
You need to stop making
Furthermore,
jokes about this. This is
agents
awful.
found CDs with much of the same material, a blow-up sex doll dressed in boys' clothes, a journal he kept about his fantasies dating back to 1978, and even books about serial killers and cannibalism.
See, why can't we find this type of fucking evidence on Dan Snyder? I know we have everyone coming out saying that he did it, but why can't we find the evidence? Lock that motherfucker away. Like, we're gonna find it eventually, because if it took them like what, almost 30 years to catch this dude, it's gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna. We'll catch him in the next couple of years. We'll catch old Danny boy soon.
He was eventually found guilty of possession of and was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison with a lifetime of supervision thereafter. Had he lived out his full sentence, he would be out sometime in 2033. However, as of August of 2020, it's reported that he is now deceased. My heart goes out to the children who had to suffer for the pleasure of this monster and all of those who associated with him. For his entire life, he was calculated and knew what he was doing. His career, his church van favors, his company parties, all a front for some of the darkest.
Do we have an
desires
exact
imaginable.
number of how many kids were?
In hindsight, I understand why Joy Junction's records were wiped.
They done this.
It was a
how
show
many kids
with a
he
good
did this
premise
to?
and good intentions. I won't deny that. However, now bears a reputation forever stained by the devil, hidden within them.
All right, before we get into the next piece of found footage, I am going to go fill up my water bottle real quick. I should have done that before I started, but I'm going to go do that real quick. I'm also going to go check on my dog. Oh, wait.
What the dog doing?
So, I should be done with both videos by that time.
Before we continue, just a couple quick announcements. First off, I'd like to formally announce my second channel, called Nexpo After Hours. Here, I aim to bring you guys analytical videos about smaller web series and horror video games.
Ooh.
Currently, I have an upload about a smaller creepy web series, and I'll be dropping the next one in about 5 minutes from now. So if you're into that sort of thing, I welcome you with open arms. It's a big creative outlet for me, and we're gonna have... If you're not, however, no sweat. We still got the big projects on main. Second, new merch is now available at crowdmade.com/collection/nexpo. We've got some super cool new designs if you're interested. Link in the description. Lastly,
Why is my
if you're
camera
interested in
lagging
gaining...
so much? There we go. That's better. Back to the video.
Early access to videos, script files, and work-in-progress cuts of upcoming projects. Your support would mean the world to me over at patreon.com/nexpo. Of course, it's never expected, but always appreciated as I try to keep these videos sponsor-free.
Legacy of Tragedy. What's this one going to be about? Noah's Ark.
The year is 1928, and a romantic disaster film about Noah's Ark hits theaters. Directed by a man named Michael Curtis, it premieres during a transitional period between silent movies and talkies. It comes a healthy dose of extensive criticism. Most of the backlash is due to its runtime, clocking in at a whopping 2 hours and 15 minutes long, with
Dang. That was considered a long time back then? That's like an average runtime for a movie nowadays.
considerable portions containing awkward dialogue and drawn-out scenes. Sitting through this movie is, to put it lightly, a considerable undertaking. Because of this, the film is pulled for revision, and the cut content is never shown again. A good portion of the cut footage came from what the movie is mostly known for today, and that's the flood scene.
People died, didn't they? I'm guessing people died during the flood scene.
In it, we can observe a slew of actors fighting their way out of a crumbling temple and towards the Ark to stay alive. It's a grandiose set with a lot going on, and keeping in mind the time period, all of this was pulled off with practical effects. These people were, legitimately, submerged.
That must have been fucking horrifying. So I've been there. I almost drowned in a creek like 3 years ago. It was horrible. That shit was scary as fuck. Wouldn't wish that on no one.
Some might consider the acting here to be pretty well done. Like I said, this scene is grand, and due to the time period, was all pulled off practically. The thing is, some of these actors weren't actually acting, as during this scene, 3 actors drowned and 1 reportedly lost their leg. This was the result of over 600,000 gallons of water being dumped across the set, something that the film's extras were reportedly unaware of. It's been reported that, before
God
filming
damn.
commenced, Michael Curtis was warned against putting so many people in danger. However, he shrugged it off, claiming that the extras were expected to be prepared for anything, and that, quote, they're just gonna have to take their chances. In the original cut of the movie, it's rumored that you could see these deaths happen on screen with a much more fleshed out flood scene. However, since the revisions, that original version is forever considered lost. It's rumored that Curtis was in pursuit of relentless perfection.
Imagine, like, drowning. Like, you come in thinking that you're going to do a simple fucking movie scene, and you lose your life, and it's filmed. That would be fucking horrible.
He wanted this movie to be grand and authentic. However, in this chase came a loss of life that did not need to happen, leaving Noah's Ark forever stained with an enduring legacy of tragedy.
Searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
I love this dude's video style. Like, it's captivating, keeping me
On the 2nd
keeping
of
me
July
hooked.
2014,
Keeps on drawing
an ad
me
was
in.
made on
I'm sure that might
Craigslist.
be a lot to do with his voice.
It came from an 18-year-old girl named Brooke Slocum and was but a simple request
Very
for
nice.
cash.
I like it.
I need $50 by 3:30 p.m. today. I can pay you back later tonight, but I need gas and some mess quick. Everyone has bronchitis at my house, and I do not want to get sick. I'm 8 months pregnant, and my lungs are all squished as is. If you could help, me and my daughter will greatly appreciate it.
This post remained untouched for 10 days. At 10:08 p.m. on the night of July 12th, Slocum receives an email from a man going by the name Mike's Hard. I can host. What are you thinking? I'm 25. This was a reply to other separate ads that Brooke made around the same time period in which she would solicit sex for money. According to her friends, it wasn't willingly, as her then boyfriend, 25-year-old Charles Oppenheer, would coerce her to do this while accompanying her during these meetups. Reluctant, Slocum responds 20 minutes later.
Well, we're looking for donations if possible. Kinda in a tight spot, and we have a baby on the way. As far as the fund goes, though, there won't be any mail.
How does $120 sound? I can drive you over here if you need.
No, we can travel, just can't host is all. When and where would you like to meet up?
I like to f*** outside in a park around 11:30. That okay?
I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble for indecent exposure or anything. I can't go to jail being 8 months pregnant.
It's cop-free. It's a park, but behind it there are lots of woods. No cops at all. This last email arrived at 10:59 p.m., and as we can see, Mike's Hard was keen on meeting that same night. Needless to say, Slocum ended up accepting, and their trip to Kazan Park in Wyoming, Michigan was on.
Okay.
It's midnight. The couple arrives, with Mike pulling up shortly after. Initially believing this to be another sex meetup, the two approach Mike without much concern. Sometime during the next few minutes, Brooke is grabbed, bound, and shoved into the trunk of Mike's car. In haste, Charles tries to help, however, is unsuccessful, resulting in a violent altercation between the two. It's
Charles
unclear
is
how long
shot.
this fight lasted. However, what is certain is that during this, Charles was violently killed. Mike drags his body near the woods, saws his head off, and covers the remains with sticks. And without so much of a single witness, he jumps in his car and, alongside Charles' head and Brooks Slocum stowed behind him, drives off into the night.
Why did you have to cut the head off? What's the point of that? You sick fuck.
After realizing that Oppenhier's car had not moved in days, police began probing on his whereabouts. When asked, his parents drummed up nothing. His work, nothing. No one knew where he was, but his car was there. And so they began searching the park on July 17th, 5 days after the incident with Mike's Hard. Upon scouring the wooded area that lined its back end, they then discover a headless body under some brush. And it was later identified as Charles Oppenhier. In the coming hours, it was realized that Oppenhier wasn't single, and his girlfriend, too, was missing. In haste, authorities obtained a search warrant for her apartment and began searching her laptop. On it, there were a myriad of conversations. However, one thread from Mike's Hard stood out among the rest. The Internet Crimes Against Children Unit was called in for analysis on the real name behind the alias, and they found that this address was tied to another email, which was tied to a Facebook for a man not named Mike, but Brady Ostrike.
That's one badass last name, Ostrike. Horrible person, but badass last name.
They stake out near his home while they await a search warrant. There wasn't enough evidence for an arrest warrant by this point, so that was a frustrating roadblock. The hours ticked by without much happening. However, around 9 p.m. on the night of July 17th, Brady would be spotted jumping into his car and leaving his home. A few moments later, he stopped by a nearby officer. Before they could get to him, though, he takes off, leading to a grueling pursuit. Eventually, he loses control and crashes into a cement barrier. As the officers pull up for apprehension, however, he on the head and falls forth to his death. A few seconds later, police approach and search his vehicle. In it was 31-year-old Brady Ostrike, dead in the front seat, and in the trunk, stuffed within a suitcase, was 18-year-old Brooke Slocum and her unborn daughter, both of whom were deceased.
Damn.
Upon searching Ostrike's home shortly after, they discovered a plethora of ropes, knives, swords, cages, straps, and bizarre writings that make little to no sense at all. His toilet was inoperable, and the entire place was nothing short of rancid.
Damn, that's fucking horrible.
Most interesting of all, however, was the discovery of cameras. As it turned out, he had them all over his home so he could document his actions. And what you're seeing here is Ostrike as he prepares the basement he kept Slocum in for those agonizing 5 days. Now, there exists footage of Brady Ostrike's grueling torture of Brooke Slocum. However, you'll never see it.
Good, I don't
The
fucking
police
want to see
department
that
has
shit.
gone on record to say that they will never release it, however describe it as something straight out of a nightmare. During the time Slocum was captive, and even when police were right outside the home, she was locked in handcuffs with a chain around her neck. Reportedly, Ostrike had bound her arms to the ropes hanging from the ceiling and left her dangling while he sexually assaulted and tortured her before strangling her to death. All of this was captured on film.
God,
Years later,
fuck.
Oppenheimer's head was found off some back roads 17 miles north of Gizon Park. It's a chilling end to a disturbing online saga and really drives home the fact that you really don't know who it is you're meeting with on Craigslist, dating apps, OfferUp, what have you, until you actually come face to face. What began as a simple request for just $50 had led to the loss of 3 lives following a days-long nightmare orchestrated by a depraved man. The torture footage is, as of 2022, considered indefinite lost media that may never see the light of day. However, considering what exactly it entails, I don't think we'd really want it to.
Before we get into the next one, let me just say, what the fuck? That was sickening. That was fucking horrible. I might go smoke after this video because Jesus Christ. That was just awful.
Coast is the one, Coast Federal.
Win Armstrong for Coast Federal.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
We're with you on ABC with you.
The year is 1972, and a reporter named Christine Chubbuck eagerly lands a job at WXLT Channel 40 in Sarasota, Florida. Initially hired as a reporter, she was reassigned to a spot named Suncoast Digest, a local affairs segment that ran at 9 a.m. every Saturday. During her time there, she'd become attracted to a fellow reporter named George Ryan and would seek his attention by baking him cakes and expressing a desire to hang out. When she realized that he was already romantically involved with another coworker, however,
I wish a bitch would bake me cakes. You know how happy I would be? You know how happy I would be if a bitch baked me a cake? You know what? I'll reciprocate it because I've done it before. When I was a junior in high school, during fucking COVID years, me and my at the time girlfriend were separated by last name. So on the days where she had school, I wouldn't be there. I'd be at home doing online classes. I'd finish all my shit early, walk to her house, and one day I just baked her a fucking cake and brought it with me. See, I'm a nice dude. I'm good. I'm a good person. To an extent.
it was detrimental to her self-image, as Christine historically had difficulty finding love. According to her family, she'd go on dates with various men throughout the years, however had trouble connecting socially with them. On top of this, by 1973, Chubbuck underwent surgery to have one of her ovaries removed, and as a result, her doctors began to pressure her, claiming that if she wasn't able to conceive within 2 to 3 years thereafter, she may never be able to.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
See, I don't know what that is, but I do know about In Living Color, the sitcom TV show from, I'm pretty sure it was the early 90s. That's where Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, and all of them got their fucking start. Hilarious fucking TV show. Fucking Homie the Clown. Fire Marshal Bill. Fuck yeah. I fucking love that shit. My taste in movies and TV is way older than me.
Super spy Fred Flintstone is off on the trail of the mysterious Green Goose, a master of deception.
Tonight we begin with the death of a man armed with scissors. He was shot by police 24 times.
Do something. Get him to do something about the problem. Meantime, they say they're going to back the leafleting up with a meeting this Friday with city and state officials.
Good evening. More than 100 people were reported dead in a plane crash near New York's Kennedy Airport this afternoon. The plane was an Eastern Airlines 727 nearing the end.
As 1974 approached, Chubbuck witnessed a shift in news methodology. Christine always had a desire to pursue what she believed to be high-impact stories about issues affecting the community. However, WXLT executives were leaning more towards stories that were juicier, per se.
So they wanted to fill people's lives.
Sensationalism to drive viewership,
Yeah.
in turn generating revenue. The news she was tasked with reporting began to shift further and further towards spectacle and shock, and she frequently rallied against this to no avail. Resultingly, she became stuck in a mindset, in a world that she was growing to hate. Her professional life, her personal life, everything around her.
That really sucks. I've been there. Or like, you're stuck at a job that, doesn't respect you as a person. Only caring about, doing what they want to do. And fucking hating your personal life, being stuck in that endless loop of misery. This is getting depressing. This is depressing as fuck. There's two strands of hair back there, like clumps. They're just not dried yet.
It's going to be even cooler tonight than tomorrow night than tonight. The reason for this, with the passage of the cold front today, when we picked up some showers, skies have cleared very nicely. And
On the 15th of July, 1974, Christine enthusiastically entered the station. Instead of opening Suncoast Digest traditionally, however, she claimed that there was a newscast she had to read to open it, something that hadn't been done hitherto. She takes her seat at the news desk, and for the first 8 minutes, opens her segment about 3 national news stories and a shooting that took place the day prior. Following this, a film reel of the shooting was supposed to play, but had jammed, leaving a few moments of dead air. In response, Christine apologized for the error before taking out a script she had handwritten and reading to the viewers the following.
God damn it, she kills herself live on the news. Oh shit. Oh, no, it's just because. Wait. Yeah, it was just because I was up against this thing. I was wondering when my chair wasn't going as far back as it usually does. Skip it? No, we are going to listen to this shit.
This weekend, being typical of the recent rash of violence, saw one man stabbed, another assaulted, and a third shot and wounded. Sarasota police report the finding of an 18-year-old, a man by the name of David Wynn, in the parking lot of a Friendly Tavern on 27th Street. Wynn had an apparent stab wound in the chest, which, according to witnesses, was inflicted by James Whitworth during a fight. Police charged Whitworth with aggravated assault. Wynn is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. The second attempted armed robbery in a week has involved law enforcement officers from both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Last week, teenage gunmen held up the highway bar and after a shootout and high-speed automobile chase, held a family hostage and finally were nabbed by Sarasota Sheriff's deputies. Early Sunday morning, the Beef and Bottle restaurant north of Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41 was the site of an attempted armed robbery and shooting. TV40 News
Sorry, I'm texting back about a job.
shortly after it began, and he filed his report. Sorry, for those of you who saw Late Night Weekend News Watch last night, we did have a film report and a commentary by Bob Peterson. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties and cannot bring it to you now. However, News Watch tonight at 5:30, and we'll have that story for you then. As of this morning, Grace Foster, who was shot in that incident, is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. In keeping with the WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate and complete reports of local blood and guts news, TV40 presents what is believed to be a television first. In living color, exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide.
At this moment, Christine drew a Smith & Wesson revolver that she had hidden in her bag, placed it behind her right ear, and fired, immediately falling forward onto her desk. In a frantic response, the tech directors quickly faded the broadcast to black and scrambled to play a movie thereafter. Calls began to flood in, with viewers questioning the authenticity of what they just witnessed, with some believing that this was just a morbid joke or a prank. However, it was far from it. She was rushed to Sarasota Hospital, and back at the station, the news director, Mike Simmons, had discovered 2 pages of a script left behind by her. The first page contained what we heard prior, however the second was a follow-up intended to be read by a third party. Today, Christine Chubbuck during a live broadcast. She was rushed to Sarasota Memorial Hospital, where she remains in critical condition. Surprisingly, Christine's prediction turned out to be correct.
I have no idea what to say about this.
She was at that very hospital, but because she remained in critical condition for 14 hours until her eventual death. Christine's body was cremated and spread in the Gulf of Mexico, marking the end of a life full of despair. To those around her and to her loved ones, however, an agonizing void was left that would forever go unfilled. Reportedly, only one tape of this incident existed and was kept by Bob Nelson, the station's owner. After his death, his wife Molly would inherit it before handing it over to a law firm for good. As of now, this is where it lies, and for the foreseeable future, may never see the light of day.
All right. This is probably not my place to say, but if you're out there and you're unhappy and you have that thought in the back of your mind that the world would be better off without you, I'm telling you right now, it wouldn't. Don't do it. Don't try to end anything, because I promise you, even though if you cannot see it, there are people out there who love you and cherish you and couldn't bear to live this world without having you in it. Life sucks until it doesn't. There's going to be a lot of shitty things that happen that you cannot control. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to get better eventually. Ignore that.
We'll return after these
Please,
messages.
for the love of God, just ignore that.
Good morning.
To preface this last entry, I'd like to state from the outset that the following could be absolutely nothing. The answer could be completely mundane. However, the footage in this section has personally stood out to me because of how bizarrely out of place it is and how little info there is about it. I was gonna put it in the next
This is
disturbing
probably gonna be
things.
the last one of this
However,
video.
I think it fits better here. Let us begin. It's the 1980s.
Beetlejuice cartoon.
Beetlejuice makes its debut. Journey, Survivor, Guns N' Roses, and our favorite Rick Astley are on the airwaves.
Don't do it.
And over on a stand-up comedy
I was
show,
gonna say, don't
named
you
An
fucking
Evening
do
at the
it.
Improv, a child actor turned musician named Corey Feldman is world premiering his latest track, Something in Your Eyes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start the show off tonight a bit differently than usual. What I'm going to do is I'm going to world premiere my song that I just finished writing and producing with Michael Damian for my new movie, Dream a Little Dream, with Jason Robards. It's called Something in Your Eyes. I'm going to do it right now.
This man thinks he's Michael Jackson. Look at the way he's dancing. He thinks he's Michael Jackson. You ain't no Michael Jackson, you silly white boy. I want to say that shit to Fabio Jackson if I ever meet him. You're not no Michael Jackson, you silly white boy. You're on thin white. I might want to finish that joke.
As we can see, he had a mixed reaction from the audience. Clearly lip-syncing and taking inspiration from Michael Jackson,
See?
he employs
I
dance
fucking
moves in a
told you.
musical style that attempts to emulate them. Upon looking through comments about him on YouTube, it's clear that history hasn't exactly been kind to Feldman. But that's beside the point. The reason I bring this video up in the first place
Fucking
is
embarrassing.
because towards the song's end, Feldman's producer makes an incredibly strange cutaway to something that is very out of place for a video like this. Have a look.
I didn't even inhale that shit.
You shouldn't have let it go. You should have held on.
What the fuck? I don't care if it's the 80s. You can't show that on TV. The fuck? No. 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 I'll even do it in Australian for you. No. Don't rewind back and oh, what the fuck? Don't rewind back and show it to me. I don't want to see that. Why is she chained to the floor? Why is she chained to the floor? Why? No.
What is this? And why is it here?
That's my exact thinking
Nowhere
right now.
in this song does Feldman make any sort of mention about a woman being bound to a pool table. And after
pool
performing
table.
a cursory
My
scan
bad,
of his
a
other
pool
music
table, not the
videos,
floor.
cutaways like this never happen again. This seems eerily out of place, and discussion about this is painstakingly few and far between. The only mentions I could find about it were from Reddit and a few YouTube comments. However, none of them garnered much attention, and their sources are pretty much non-existent. With that being said, let's circle back to the footage so we can break it down ourselves. As we can see, the video of this woman was patched in post-production. Unlike the other cutaways that happened prior, this one has a different border. It's in black and white, and seems to be slightly lower quality than his music video. In the footage, we have a woman with brown or black hair tied up on each corner of the pool table, is in what appears to be a small room with a swinging light above her, and seems to be moving because of discomfort. To me, this footage could be one of three things. Either it's a scene from an obscure movie, a cut of a film, or it could be from a legitimate film. Personally, I believe it's one of the first two, given how obvious this cutaway is on something that's been seen by hundreds, if not thousands, of people. If this were truly as sinister as it's been rumored, it would be a pretty stupid move to put it there. Regardless, this cutaway is one of the weirdest edits I have ever seen, and I'm still struggling to drum up a reason as to why it's there in the first place. I'm curious if you know anything about this, if you've seen it before, if you've heard about it, anything. This is a weird little mystery, and this is where I'm calling for your help. Who is the woman on the table?
Dead, probably. Yeah, that's the end of the video.
Even apart from the internet, the world is dark. So many pieces of media have been forgotten and lost to time, and in this series, I aim to document and bring those back to light. Thank you so much for joining me in this first installment of The Darkest Lost Media. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, and I truly apologize for the delay on this one. I had to completely rework a